Okay, let us start the class. So before starting the class, I think all of you are very much fine and good. Your family members are also good. You know about that situation. Now the situation is very critical, and each and every day I am hearing the image of some of my friends and relatives. Okay, basically, that is a very sad time. So I think all of you are good. Your parents are good. Okay, your relatives and friends are also good. And take care of yourself in this time. So let us start. Okay. So in our previous class, we have discussed about that super elevation and how to design the super elevation in case of your mixed traffic condition. Okay, there are 4 steps which you have to follow for the mixed traffic condition, and we have solved some numericals also. So now we will discuss about the horizontal curve, that how you find out the radius of the horizontal curve. So basically the radius of the horizontal curve is estimated based on the formula, that is a super elevation formula. So in the super elevation formula, how you find out, basically for the value of E, that is super elevation, you put the maximum value, that is 0.07, and for the value of F you will put the maximum value, that is 0.15. Now putting all these value, you will find out what is the value of V. So that is the value of V. Okay, now that value of V is basically, there are 2 types of value of V. One is minimum minimum radius of the curve, and another one is maximum radius of the curve, or desirable radius of the curve. For the minimum or ruling radius of the curve, in case of V, you will put that designed velocity, which is minimum design velocity. So basically for the design velocity, for each and everything which we have already previously discussed, you might have noticed that in that table, there are different type of velocity for different type of road condition. So one is for ruling and another one is minimum. So for that ruling case, you will put that ruling velocity, and to find out the minimum radius, you will put that minimum velocity. And efficiently, you can find out what is the radius of that horizontal curve. Now, another important parameter is widening of the pavement. Now, see, in the horizontal curve, in the mixed traffic condition, what happens? There are different types of vehicles which are moving on the road. Now, on these different type of vehicles, their speed profiles are also different. Some of the vehicles are of a slow or lower speed, and some of the vehicles have very much higher speed. So basically, as a transportation engineer, we need to uh, provide the safety for all the users. Okay, for all type of the users. You know that we can restrict the speed in some cases. We know that we will design the speed, or we will consider the design speed based on some observation, or there are some values which we can directly consider. Now the thing is, there always be some vehicles which will be moving on that particular section of the road with a speed more than that design speed which we have considered. Now in the survey also, if you found out that design speed, so basically design speed is the 98 percentile speed. That is, we are considering a speed value for which 98 percentage of the vehicles are moving with their speed or below their speed, but there are always 2% are left. Okay, so basically the 2% vehicles are moving with a speed higher than that your design speed. So for this reason, you need to provide some provision in the horizontal curve. So the thing is, in the horizontal curve, when vehicle is moving, there are two tendencies. One is transverse skidding effect, and another one is your uh, overturning effect. Now for the transverse skidding effect, if your horizontal curve, the width of that horizontal curve is the same as of your actual road, in that case, in some cases, if that lateral skidding happens, in that case, there is chance that vehicle will go out from the pavement. Okay, so in such cases, you need to provide some extra width of the pavement. That is called extra widening. And another case is, suppose some vehicles are moving in the horizontal curve. In that case, there is always a tendency of the driver to maintain a clearance between crossing vehicles or overtaking vehicles, and that clearance distance would be higher than the clearance distance which that driver would be following in case of straight path. Okay, so therefore it is very much necessary to accommodate that clearance, and you can accommodate that clearance by providing extra width of that pavement in the horizontal curve. So basically that is called extra widening of the pavement. Now this extra widening of the pavement will depend on different conditions. One is mechanical widening. So this mechanical widening is basically governed by the fact about that lateral friction and centrifugal force. So basically that will depend on your centrifugal force. And another one is psychological widening. Psychological widening means that the driver has a tendency to maintain a more gap or more clearance between two consecutive vehicles in side by side. So basically, that is your psychological widening. Now, for the mechanical widening, there is some derivation portion, and for the psychological widening, the psychological widening formula is given by the IRC, that is Indian Road Congress, and that is an empirical formula. So let us dig into that widening of that pavement. So whatever I discussed, that is written over here. So let me again discuss about all these things, because ultimately you will read this note only. So first one is widening is needed for the following reasons. So these are the reasons. An automobile has a rigid wheelbase and only the front wheels can be turned. Okay, so when this vehicle takes a turn to negotiate a horizontal curve, the rear wheel does not follow the same path as of the front wheels, and that is called off-tracking. So let us discuss about this off-tracking principle. So how this off-tracking will happen. Suppose this is a horizontal curve. Okay, now suppose this is the front wheel assembly. This is the front wheel assembly. Now the thing is, for the vehicle only the front wheels can change its direction. The rear wheels cannot change its direction, and the axle is also rigid. So therefore, when a vehicle is negotiating a curve, the path traveled by the front wheels will not be same by the rear wheels. Okay. So to accommodate the rear wheels, you need some extra widening. Okay. Now this phenomenon, okay, that the that the rear wheels are not following the same path as of the front wheels, this phenomenon is particularly called as off-tracking. So, okay, so the definition is very important. What is off-tracking? That is the phenomenon that in the negotiating the horizontal curve, the rear wheels that do not follow the path traversed by the front wheels. That is your off-tracking. Now, while two vehicles cross or overtake at horizontal curve, there is a psychological tendency to maintain a greater clearance between the vehicle for the safety. Greater clearance means, suppose this is the horizontal curve. Suppose one vehicle is there and another vehicle is there. In that case, this distance between these two vehicles would be higher than the normal portion or straight portion of the road. Then third point is, for greater visibility at curve, the driver have tendency not to follow the central path of the lane, but to use the outer side of the beginning curve. So in that case, what will happen? For the greater visibility, the driver always follow this portion of the path. Okay, that the outer portions of the path. So if they follow the outer portion of the path, in that case, there is a tendency that the rear wheels will get out of that designated vehicle path. Then at higher speed, super elevation and lateral friction cannot counteract the centrifugal force and skidding may occur. So if there's lateral skidding occur, in that case, vehicle tire would be or vehicle should be get out of that designated path. And for that reason, to accommodate with this lateral skidding, you need to provide some extra widening. Now, if you go for the analysis of the extra widening, so there are two types of extra widening. One is mechanical widening or off braking, and another one is psychological widening. So basically for the mechanical widening, let us discuss about this phenomenon. So this is a horizontal curve. This is a horizontal curve. This is the rear wheel assembly and this is the front wheel assembly. Now suppose R2 is the radius of the outward curve, okay, or R2 is the distance or radius of the path traversed by the outward front wheels. These are the front wheels, these are the inner front wheels, this is inner front wheels, these are the outward front wheels. So this is the path traversed by the R2 is the radius of the path traversed by the outward front wheels. Then R1 is the radius of the path traversed by the outward rear wheels. This is the outer rear wheels. So R1 is the distance of that path traveled by the outward rear wheels. So your extra widening is basically the distance between or the gap between Rn and R1 and R2. So if you consider extra widening as Wm, your Wm would be R2 minus R1. So your Wm is R2 minus R1. Now see, if L is the vehicle wheelbase, L is the wheelbase, in that case, that is a equilateral triangle. So in that right angle triangle, so in that right angle triangle, you can write there your OB square equal to BA square plus AO square, or in other words, you can say that R2 square equal to R1 square plus L square. Okay, or your R1 square equal to R2 square minus L square. Now, but you know R1 R2 minus R1 is basically Wm, so you can write down that R1 equal to R2 minus Wm. Okay, so R2 minus Wm square, if you make it square, in that case it is R2 square minus L square. So R2 square minus 2 R2Wm plus Wm equal to R2 square minus L square. So in that case, you can write down L square equal to Wm into 2R2 minus Wm. So how you get this? This one first this you got from the right angle triangle, that is R1 square equal to R2 square minus L square. Now put the value of R1 as R2 minus Wm over here. So R2 minus Wm whole square equal to R2 square minus L square. So then you just spread it out. It would be R2 square to R2 Wm plus Wm square equal to R2 square minus L square. So from that, find out what is the L square. So L square is equal to Wm into 2R2 minus Wm. And in other words, you can find out Wm equal to L square divided by 2R2 minus Wm. Now the thing is that Wm, that extra widening, would be very much small in comparing with that R2. That is the radius of that horizontal curve. Okay, that would be very much smaller in comparing to R2, and basically that is double of that R2. So in comparing this, it would be very much small. So you can ignore that portion. Okay, you can ignore the Wm portion and you can write down your Wm equal to L square divided by 2R. L square divided by 2R. So basically that is your mechanical widening of the pavement for single lane. Now if there is multiple lanes, suppose the number of lanes in a road is n, in that case your extra widening would be n into L square divided by 2 into R. Now, another widening is there that is called psychological widening. And for the psychological widening, you will get the uh, psychological widening by an empirical formula, and that empirical formula is WPS equal to V by 9.5 root R. Okay, V by 9.5 root R, where V is in kilometer per hour. So your total extra widening would be Wm plus Wps, that is mechanical widening, plus psychological widening, that is NL square divided by 2R plus V by 9.5 root R. Okay, where L is the length of the wheelbase and you can consider L as 6.1 or 6 meter. So this is all about your extra widening. Now let us find some numericals. Okay, calculate this, calculate the psychological widening required in a horizontal curve of radius 250 meter for a design speed of 70 kilometer per hour. This is your first question, and your second question is so calculate this. Yes, WPS is 0.466 and WE is, let me calculate this. What is the mechanical widening you are getting? The length of the wheelbase is 6. In that case, it would be 6 square by 2. Yes, the total extra widening is 0.6. So I think that portion is clear to you, extra widening. Is it clear to all of you, extra widening? Okay, so this is all about today's class. In our next class, we will discuss some other topic. Now let me share the notes. Okay, you can leave. Okay, I have already noted down the attendance. And all of you, please take care.